Good day, it is January the 19th, and today we continue in John 10, doing verses 11 through 13, and Proverbs 14. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. Begin John 10, starting at verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays his life down for the sheep. 12. The hired hand is not the shepherd, and the sheep are not his own. When he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. The wolf pounces on them and scatters the flock. 13. The man runs away because he is a hired servant and cares not for the sheep. Okay, I am the good shepherd, Jesus is saying. The good shepherd lays his life down for the sheep. The good, in this case, doesn't carry the full translation. There's no one word to do that. Good in this case means beautiful, noble, and good, as opposed to the opposite is foul, mean, and wicked. Christ is the perfect shepherd. Hirelings are false, hypocrites. The good shepherd lays down his life for a ransom for the sheep. The wicked takes the sheep's life to save themselves. 12. The hired hand is not the shepherd, and the sheep are not his own. When he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf pounces on them and scattereth the sheep. He's just a hired shepherd, a mercenary, basically. He wants basically what benefits the ministry can be status, position, power, money. And the wolf, after snatching certain sheep, scatters the rest of them. 13. The man runs away because he is a hired servant and is not concerned for the sheep. Hirelings don't care. Proverbs 19. Better is he that is poor, that walketh in his integrity, than he that is perverse in his lips and fool at the same time. Honest poor is better than being a liar and a fool. 2. Also, that the soul be without knowledge is not good, and he that hastens with his feet sinneth. 3. The foolishness of a man perverteth his ways, and his heart fighteth against Yahweh. 4. Wealth addeth many friends, but as for the poor, his friends separate himself from him. When you are rich, friends come out of the woodwork. When you are poor, you can't find them with a search warrant. 5. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that breatheth forth lies shall not escape. Lying, misrepresentation will be caught and punished. 6. Many will entreat the favor of the liberal man, that's generous man, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. A generous man is very popular. You get people around him going, hey, can I have some more? Or can I have one? Me too, don't forget me. Oh, can I have that too? Yeah, generous man, and a rich man that is generous, I should say, is very popular. 7. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He that pursueth words, they turn against him. 8. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul, and he that keepeth understanding shall find good. 9. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that breatheth forth lies shall perish. If you deceive people, you will be punished. And if you lie, you will perish. God hates liars. 10. Luxury is not seemly for a fool, much less a servant to have rule over princes. That is just things that are just totally out of place. 11. The discretion of a man to be slow to anger. In other words, take your time, find out what's worth getting angry about. And it is to his glory to pass over transgression. When you generally forgive, you are loving. 12. The king's wrath is of a roaring lion, that his favor is as dew upon the grass. 13. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are continual dripping. They are very annoying. 14. House and riches are an inheritance of fathers, but a prudent wife is from Yahweh. 15. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and the idle soul shall suffer hunger. Lazy people will be hunger and in need. 16. He that keepeth the commandment will keepeth his soul, but he that despises his ways shall die. Obedience is life. Obedience is loving God. When you love God, you will keep your soul. But if you despise God's ways, you shall die. 17. He that is gracious unto the poor lendeth to Yahweh, and his good deed he will repay unto him. It's not one of those plant the seed and wait for it to grow. It doesn't, hey God, I gave $10 to this person, what are you going to give me in return? No, that is not the way it works. God will repay you for your generosity because you love God. And he will repay you in the manner he seems fit. 18. Chasten thy son, for there is hope, but seek not thy heart unto destruction. Correct your children before it's too late, but don't overcorrect them. 19. A man of great wrath shall suffer punishment, for if thou interpose, thou wilt add thereto. An easily angered man will suffer. If you keep getting a person out of trouble, every time they get into it, and over and over and over, eventually the trouble will build up. You'll get into so much trouble you can't get him out of it. And then he suffers the maximum punishment. 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in the latter end. 21. There are many devices, that is plans, in a man's heart, but the counsel of Yahweh, that shall stand. It doesn't matter what you plan. If God has something else planned, that's the one that will work. 22. The lust of a man is a shame, and a poor man is better than a liar. 23. The fear of Yahweh tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. 24. The sluggard buries his hand in the dish, and will not so much as bring it back to his mouth. A lazy person will starve, have the food in his hand, or her hand, and pick it up, and will not pick it up to their mouth. How lazy is that? 25. When thou smitest a scorner, the simple will become prudent. In other words, you correct a scorner, or berate a scorner, or smite a scorner, the simple will, I ain't going to do that. And when one has understanding is reproved, he will understand knowledge. In other words, if he has understanding and you tell him where he's wrong, he will understand more. 26. A son that deals shamefully and reproachfully will despoil his father and chase away his mother. 27. Cease, my son, to hear instruction that causes to err from the words of knowledge. Stop listening to lies. Check your sources. Check what you're putting into your heart. There's a computer saying that they used to use a lot, Gigo. If you put garbage into your heart, you can get garbage out. Stop listening to lies and dishonest people. 28. An ungodly witness mocketh at right, and the mouth of the wicked devoureth iniquity. And 29. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the back of fools. Unbelievers and mockers will be dealt with appropriately. I hope you've been blessed by this reading. May the Lord richly bless you. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.